Today I have another butterfly card to show you. It is actually the day of my camp. It's actually the Snow Apocalypse Eve. If you have followed me for very long, you know that every January I schedule my camp and we have a snowstorm. Every single January. I've been a demonstrator for almost 25 years, and I've been doing camps for over 20, maybe 22 years, and I should have started keeping track 22 years ago, although, we didn't have the internet 22 years ago. And it snows every single year when I schedule my January camp. So pretty much, if you want to know, if you live in Indiana, when it's going to snow, then just find out when my January camp is. And you can just kind of set your farmer's almanac by that. You don't need that farmer's thing. You can just go by my stamp camp. So I have a few people coming tonight for Friday, and I had to cancel my Saturday. So I will tell you, if you are watching this around the time that I posted it, you will want to go to my website, or if you're on my email or on my Facebook, and not so much on email because I probably won't get to it, because it's also playoff weekend. As you can see, it's Blue Friday. But I will be having, I had already cut the paper for my camp, so I have a bunch of paper cut, and I'm going to make the cards up. So I'm going to be having some camp specials. So in addition to my January specials, where if you just order and use my host code, which are posted on my website and on my Facebook, if you order over the weekend and you order certain amounts, then you're going to get some of my camp cards in with your, they'll be already done, just free cards. So free card weekend. And then I'm also going to be having some prizes. So everybody that orders over the weekend, whether you're at camp or whether you order online, you will be going into some drawings for some free prizes. And I will randomly post those over the weekend on both my website and on Facebook. So you'll be able to, oh, my cat is now crying. You'll be able to see those posted. So I just wanted to let you know that. That will stop, I don't know what the date is, on Monday, past when this video is. So Monday morning. I think today is like the 10th, January 10th. So if you're watching this later on, you can just skip all that. But I'm going to show you a card today. This one's already posted. This is from the Beauty Abounds stamp set, and this is, or bundle. This is one that already has a video up. So I'm not showing you this one today, but you can go watch this video. It's a lovely bundle. Lots of butterflies. The stamps have lots of words, and this one's been up for a couple of weeks. It is one that we are doing tonight. The card I'm going to show you now is actually one that we are going to do at my February camp, and it snows maybe half, maybe not a third of the time when I schedule my February camps. Sale-A-Bration, not good if you live in the Midwest, if you live in the snowy states. But on this one, I'm going to use, when you see the catalog, the two, like the stamps are mostly small and tiny, but when you get the dies, there's two ginormous dies, and I'm going to use those on this card. This is actually a card that we did back in December for my demonstrators. We did it on my stamp day. So you can see it comes with two big dies. And they look like you get the same die, but they're not. This one here, let me see if I can hold it up. I'm going to use pumpkin pie. That's backwards. So this one is solid. So that will cut a solid piece of cardstock. So the butterflies are just solid like that. They're really pretty. You could do some pretty like mobiles. You can cut them apart and have a bunch of different ones. And then when you do this one, you'll see it cuts it more detailed. So that it actually lays over the top of it. So they're similar dies and they're coordinating, but they're not the same. You don't get two of the same dies. So I'm going to use that on this card. I am going to use this. It looks like wood paper. On the other side, it is the Floral Romance, which I am extending the sign-ups for my online class. So I'm going to post the link to that down underneath this. This is a beautiful, beautiful set of Designer Series paper. But on this card, I'm going to use this side that looks like wood, weathered wood. And then, oh, well, it's not laying here, so hang on while I go get it. It's not far, because we just moved to the bucket. I'm going to use that Sale-A-Bration paper. And this is so much fun. You are going to definitely want to get this. And when you get it, it's foil paper. It comes 12 by 12. There's 2 colors. And look how pretty this one is. It's the Grapefruit Grove. And it's like holographic. It reminds me of being a kid in the 70s. If you were alive then. It looks like you're going to the roller rink or, you know, and it does not look like it goes with Farmhouse. But we're going to make it go with Farmhouse. It comes 12 by 12 and you get more sheets than you normally do in a foil pack of paper. You get the Grapefruit Grove and you also get some lovely lipstick. So it's a lot of fun. My daughter did a card for the shoebox swap with the cactus and she used both colors. So if she doesn't want to film it for my channel, I'm going to ask if I can use her inspired by card and show you because it's a super cute card. Sometimes she's filmed a couple of things. But she's super busy. So she does have a channel where she just sells cards. So I think that card is for sale on her channel. And it's on Instagram. It is Cards by Riss, R-I-S. If you're interested in seeing the cards that she has for sale. So I'm going to close your eyes because I'm getting ready to aim my camera down. This card doesn't take very long. It uses my very favorite shimmer white cardstock. It's going to use the Aqua Painter. Let me see if my stand's kind of set up for my Facebook Live, which I move that a little bit different. So I've got Pumpkin Pie. It's going to be my base. And I pulled my words in from the Well Written stamp set, which I have a couple of videos up from that, because if you buy the Well Written, you have words that will work for everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have these 2 pieces of cardstock. So I have the Shimmer White and the Grapefruit Grove, and these are going to be where I get my butterflies from. So let me get my big shot up here. And you can I'm just going to do one at a time. You could probably make them both fit, but the amount of time that you would save making them fit is not worth it. In having to poke them out, because these can be kind of pokey. So I'm going to put this here. Lay this on here. Because your Big Shot dies, the ones that are more ornate always work best if you can put them in the center, especially if you have the newer Big Shot where it has the thin die adapters, because it's raised up there and you just get a little bit better pressure. I can tell this is not there. Maybe that's better. So I'm going to roll it through twice, and then this is one of the ones, just because there's so many cuts in it, don't take it apart until you've looked at it. So take your top off, and then you can kind of see, and it looks like it's pretty well cut, but just to make sure, I'm going to put my piece back on there and then roll it back through one more time. Because when you roll it through the opposite direction, now you're going to see when I take the top off. See how it totally separates? The difference that made, that running it through one more time upside down. So if you have problems with your Big Shot, give that a try. And then you won't spend so much time getting stuff stuck in there or having not come through. So again, I could have tried to fit them both on this way, but then neither of them were going to be in the middle. Neither of them were going to be in the sweet spot of your Big Shot. And there's no sense in wasting time poking them or wasting paper if you run it through and then you find it didn't stick. You shouldn't need a bunch of shims. You shouldn't need dryer sheets, or I see so many people post online all these hacks to make your Big Shot work. You shouldn't need it. Your Big Shot should work with the tools that come with the Big Shot. You shouldn't need to make up a bunch of different things to make it work. So see, once again, without taking apart, this one looks like it did better. So you can see some of them fell out. So this one, you can see right here, maybe it's not cut as well. So don't take it apart. Just reverse your plates. Put this one on top. I'm gonna let you see that again right here. See where it looks like it's not cut as well? Obviously it didn't poke through. So lay those on there. And this time just do it once through. That's all it should take. One more time the opposite way. Now I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to take the plates apart. You can already see how they're lifting apart. It's static in the house. Look at the difference that made. See, it just all dropped apart. So try that. Don't go buy a bunch of different things and try a bunch of different hacks. Make your Big Shot work with just your Big Shot, because that's what it's supposed to work with. I mean, sometimes if the dies are super detailed, you may need to put like one sheet of, this is just copy paper because I'm going to watercolor, but you might want to put one sheet of this underneath, but you shouldn't need to go buy a bunch of different things. That's my little Big Shot rant for the day. So this, because there's so many little holes, I'm just going to roll this brush over the top, and this should mostly poke it out. Try to catch most of these in my little dish. So it got almost everything. See, you can see almost everything came out with just the one pass of the Big Shot. The few that didn't were those ones that I could tell. You know, you can see when you look at your Big Shot. The other reason that you may have problems if you have issues with your Big Shot, it may not be your Big Shot. It may be that your plates are so worn that they don't cut anymore. If they are so cut that you can't see when you look to see, if your things have popped out, they're too old. Just suck it up and spend $10 more. Just pretend it's a pack of cardstock and it's all gone. Because the plates aren't meant to last forever. Because once they have so many cuts in them, there's nothing left for you to cut into. So look how pretty this is. I'll lay that on there. See? It just took two passes that way and one flip upside down and it comes out. So that's the shimmer. This paper's so pretty, it almost pains me to have all these little pieces fall out and not use them. I was trying to avoid them flinging everywhere, but they're flinging. There we go. And again, this one, all it took, and nearly all of these have popped out as well. In fact, I don't even think I need my Take Your Pick tool to get those last few out. So let me show you how beautiful, so pretty is the Grapefruit Grove. Isn't that so pretty? So when I was originally making this card, I wanted the Grapefruit Grove. And I messed around with different backgrounds, and I really liked it with this paper, but it's stunning, but it doesn't really scream farmhouse. I mean, it screams to me disco, junior high, roller derby, and maybe then going out to have a weenie roast at the shed. They're two styles that don't really match. But I liked the color, so I was trying to think how to make it work. So what I did, I mean, take a look now how beautiful this is. It's pretty. That paper is pretty. But I'm going to do something, and it amazes me that you can take this, see how pretty, and we're going to change it. So I'm going to pop my Big Shot back up here, which you don't normally think of Big Shot. You're using your Big Shot to change a color, but this is going to change the color. I'm going to take this. This is a carryover from the holiday catalog, and it is called, what's it called? Oh, you know, my migraine medicine just messes with my words. It is called linen, maybe? Is it linen? Maybe. I don't know. You got to take your thin dyed adapter out. When I forget the words on these, 90% of the time I have added them in the comments below. So if I forget the words and you're dying to know what it's called, just look in my the description underneath the video, because it'll be down there. I think it's called linen, I think. So just one pass through, and you remember how beautifully shiny that was before. So now you're going to see it just totally, like it takes, it's still shiny, but it takes it and it like subdues it. You can see more of the pinks, you can see some of the yellows because it kind of like smashes it. You know what I should do? Hang on just a second. Let me go get another piece of the Grapefruit Grove. Unsmashed. I know, Bubby. My cat thinks I'm getting up to play with him because he's brought me a ball. So here it is. See, it kind of like, it takes the, because it takes the sheen away. Then when I put it with this, it was a much softer look. So then I was able to mix it with this. So try it, and the shimmer papers, all of the foils, I mean, with the different dyes, they give such fun effects. Or you can let us do it, demonstrators, because we tend to get more of them. Then I'm just going to take this same, whoops, it's upside down. Remember, your folders are always right side up when the Stampin' Up! Logo is on top. That's the side that's right side up. And because I don't want my green to have the pattern, because I want to use wood size, sometimes it doesn't matter. So now I've got this, it just textures a little bit, and it gives it more of the feel of the wood. So now all I have to do is color my butterflies. And for that I'm going to use the aqua painter and a bunch of different inks, which is why I had my scrap paper here. And to do, you can do these new pads the same way you could the old. You just have to press a little bit harder. So just squeeze them together like this. I may have to move out of camera to do it because, no, I got it. And then this aqua painter has some water in it. So what I did with these, I have 5 colors of ink, and there are 5 butterflies. So I just colored each small butterfly. I did a color, and I just washed the ink over it. You don't want it to be a solid color. And I like some of it being a little bit darker. So it literally is a watercolor wash. So each of the 5 butterfly, or 4 butterflies, the smaller ones, I did 1 color. And then I took this big one, and because this is grapefruit, I'm gonna do the body of it, because it'll match the thing behind it. Do most of the body grapefruit, and because the back of my card is pumpkin pie, I'm gonna do the other half of it, so I get that. Pull that out and just wipe that off. I've got some petal pink. These were all just, I just went over to my ink pad holder and just picked colors that I thought looked pretty with the combinations of papers that I had. So just wash this over. Need some more water to come through. The petal pink, if you put too much of it, will have a tinge of brown to it, which I love because I love the dusty colors. That's the 80s girl in me coming out. The dusty rose. My wedding dress was actually dusty rose. I think sometimes I've seen some people say that when they use it, they think it looks brown, but it's supposed to tend towards the brown. It's just if you put too many layers of the color, then it does go brown. This is Flirty Flamingo, which will brighten it up a little bit. I'm going to do the bigger butterfly, the Flirty Flamingo. And again, I don't want it to be all, I want it to look more watercolor washed. So I'm not going to pick up more ink. And then I'm going to do the bottoms of this one. There we go. And then I have Mango Medley, Melody. could have opened these. Some of them, nope, that doesn't have. Just when I say it, some of them look like they hadn't been used a lot. So you just squeeze it. It does take a little bit more squeezing than our old ones. They were a little bit more limber, and it could just be that the more you squeeze these, the easier it gets. So this is Mango Melody. Put it up here. I'm just going to add some of that. To my big butterfly. And it's okay that you're putting a little bit of water in here. I'm not leaving puddles of it, but the way our stamp pads close, because the ink pad is on top, as long as when you close it, you don't flip them upside down, then the water is on the bottom and it will dry. And then this is pumpkin pie. And that one, see, I pushed, I don't know, I think some of them I've just pushed more and they're getting a little looser. Because I know some of these I've watercolored with before. So I'm just going to add a couple of hints of pumpkin pie. I don't want this to be terribly dark. But I do want some pumpkin pie into it to draw into the card. Because that's my card base. Kind of some of the places that might be like where the circles are on the butterflies, I'm just highlighting with a dab of the pumpkin. There we go. So make it easier for you. Oh, I was going to show you on the other side here. Here's my grapefruit. So you can see it's a artistic look. You're not going for anything that's realistic. Then I will find my stamps, now that I've moved everything around to make room for my big shot. Here they are. So I pulled in the ones that say, congratulations, time for a new adventure, which, you know, the butterflies and the cocoon. I thought those were a good. So I'm going to put the congratulations. It doesn't really matter on my sample. I put the time for a new adventure on the outside. This one I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to put the congratulations here. And then on the inside I'm going to put the time for a new adventure. And this again is from the Well Said stamp set. It gives you a zillion different words that you can use. Take my adhesive. On. And then just for a fun touch, I have the, this is the pink thread, and I'm just going to put one little dab of adhesive in the middle. And then you just kind of swirl this around, and you want it to fill up the whole card, and you kind of figure eight it, but not really an 8, kind of sideways 8s. And with each loop around the middle, you want it to hit again, so it picks up that middle adhesive. And I don't want a lot of it because the butterflies are big and I want them to be the focal point, but this kind of just fills up the card. And then trim it. Here, I'll show you a close-up of it. So it hits, so it's all secured right there. And then you're going to take the foil piece. And just add some adhesive to the back of these. And then again, I'm going to try to hit right there in the center where my thread is. And then to stick these on, I'm just going to take my itsy bitsy, teeny weeny tiny little, oops, dimensionals. And there's 2 of the butterfly bodies that are big enough to hold them. And then they're enough to hold them onto the card. You could probably cut one in half and get it on there. But I found the 2 of them. Like I said, I did this card in the middle of December. It was like the 17th, I think, when our stamp day was. And my card just held together fine. So first stick that one down. And then this one over here. Plus then it kind of gives your card some dimension. One of my antennas is stuck. There you go. It's super easy. It pulls in that Grapefruit Grove. It's so pretty. This is definitely one of the cards that's prettier in person than it is on camera. I will put some still photos on my website, but I think you probably see more of it on camera here than you would on a still picture. So here's the one that I've done, and you can see this one's been through the ringer, you know, when you've had something in a bucket. And on this one I tried kind of distressing the edges. I didn't like that, so I didn't do it on this one because the back's green and I just didn't like it. I like it better flat. So when the girls did, I told them it was their preference. If they wanted to distress the back, they could. I kind of like it. I like the way that I like the doinginess of it by just having a couple of the things. But it's held. It gets smushed a little bit, so if you were going to put it in an envelope, it would smush down, but then I think it would, like this one's been in, you know, when you have your sample boxes, and it's been, as 20 people have made it and seen it, and it's been photographed and stuff, so it holds. Just the little dimensionals will hold it. So there you go. So be checking back on my website for some drawings and some giveaways this week and some specials over the weekend. And this is The Beauty Abounds. Have a good day and come back later. Bye.